Chuck, what are you doing, man? It's time to start the show.
저는 척 존슨입니다. 지금부터 제가 보여드릴 것은 So in the last episode, we took a look at what to do if somebody tries to charge you, tries to tackle you, or tries to take you to the ground. So as a natural continuation, this time let's take a look at what happens if for whatever reason they've managed to knock you down so you're on the ground and they're still standing. Now, if you've never been trained in any kind of ground fighting, this is not a good situation to be in. You never, ever, ever want to end up on the ground if you don't know how to ground fight, ever. But that doesn't mean that the game is over. So let's take a look at how to defend yourself when you're on the ground and how to get back on your feet, which is much more important. So Dean, please do me a favor and lay down on your stomach. Dean, what can you see?
I can see just about your toes, mate.
And now tell me, what can you do? What could you do to me from here?
Flail my arms, that's about it.
Yeah. Now what about from here? What can you see?
Now I see half a leg.
What about from here? What can you see?
Absolutely nothing, Chuck.
Exactly. Now Dean, do me a favor and roll over. From here, what can you see?
Now I can see everything.
When you're on the ground, the worst place you can ever be is on your stomach. Because from your stomach, one, you can't see anything. Two, there's no way you can defend yourself. There's nothing you can do. You can kind of cover your head like this, but for the most part, you're useless and you're just gonna get pounded. And you're not gonna see it coming, which makes it even more dangerous. When you're on your back, believe it or not, there's a lot you can still do. And sometimes you could even still manage to knock somebody out from here. So from here, even somebody that's actually relatively small can defend themselves fairly well from this position because you have these. From this position, your leg is a natural spring, and even someone that's really small, even a smaller woman or a small child even, can kick really hard and really full on from this position. Anytime Dean tries to come in with anything, I'm just gonna kick at him like this. Okay, I could even kick at his knees like that if I have to, and then if he moves, I can use my hands like this. I can just use my hands to reposition myself to keep him off. If you'll notice what he just did, when he came in kind of head first. An experienced fighter will keep their head far away when they try to come in because they know they're gonna get clocked. But somebody that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing, they're probably gonna try and come in like this for a strangle or something, boom, and then you just give it to them. So now let's switch and let's have Dean give it a try. So if you notice, even if I grab one leg, boom, he's still got the other one to kick me with, okay? Okay, excellent. As a friend, Dean was being pretty nice and he wasn't kicking me all that hard. But if you kick full force like that, there's a lot of power behind it. So that's a pretty good defense. Not perfect, but pretty good. Next, let's take a look at what to do if your opponent is smart and they take your legs and then push them off to the side like that so they can come in this way. So let's say that Dean's a pretty smart guy and he knows that he's not gonna get me from here, so he wants to try and shove my leg to the side. Let's see what to do. So he shoves it. So if you'll notice what I did, let's do it slowly. From here, he shoves this one out of the way. I reach across with the other one, plant on his hip, and then from there, I readjust my body back to this position. If we go the other way, do it slowly. He shoves, and I readjust. So reach across with the other leg, and then readjust. Okay, so now Dean, let's try this slowly. What we're gonna do from here, your legs are up. I push one. As I push, you're gonna cross your legs this way, turn your body sideways, plant this opposite one on my hip, and then from there, just readjust your body. Push, so that you're facing me, okay? Let's try it slowly. Slowly, 1, 2, and then he readjusts. Other way, I push, 1, and he readjusts. So you know, as soon as I push, that other leg goes across, right on my hip, and then he readjusts. Now let's take a look at just one more scenario. Same technique, just slightly more advanced. So from here, if you do everything right with the other stuff, you won't ever end up in this position. But just in case you do, the game is still not over. There's still a way that you can get back to start. So from here, the second they step in, you grab the ankles, their legs go straight back and across, and then from there, you spin back around like that. I'll do that one time at full speed. Okay, so from here, as soon as he comes in, boom, like that. And you can use that to get back to your defensive posture. And then from here, Keep kicking to keep them off. Okay, so now you've seen all the different ways that you can actually defend yourself with your legs while you're on your back. Next, let's take a look at what to do to get back up onto your feet, which should be your #1 priority. You've created the distance, let's stand back up. So let's say you've already nailed them once, you've kicked them, you've created enough distance, so you have just a second to get up. First thing you want to do is you're going to roll over onto your side like this, then elbow under, this arm goes out as a defense, this arm straightens up, then this bottom leg, you're going to kick it back and get back onto your feet like this. Okay? I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, this arm goes out, this one straightens out, and your leg goes back. Okay? This is the classic way to get up. You see this in MMA and you see it in UFC all the time. The reason being is if you get up this way, even if they rush in halfway through as you're getting up, they'll just knock you back into your defensive position so you're still safe. So now let's have Dean go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so Dean, from here, roll over onto one side. Okay, then up onto this elbow. Okay, then from there, exactly, this arm goes out, this leg goes down. Okay, then you're going to straighten out that arm. Okay, then kick this leg back. Yep. So if you notice, when he does that, he's creating even more distance. So instead of standing up and coming near me, as he stands up, he's going backwards. So it gives him even more time. As he's getting up, I rush in anyway. You'll notice, when you get up this way, even if someone interrupts you halfway through, instead of being knocked off balance or something, you're right back into your defensive posture where you can still kick them if you have to. So guys, as you can see, this is a really good way to get back onto your feet, because even if you're interrupted in the middle of it, it'll still allow you to get back into the defensive position. Now, the worst thing you can ever do is try and get back up from this position. If you get up to here, then you're giving them your back, and they can do all kinds of nasty stuff to you. They can go right after your spine, or they can put you in a headlock. Don't ever try and get up this way. From here, up, arm out, and up like that, okay? So, closing thoughts, if you guys remember nothing else from this video, please remember that if you get knocked down, if you're on the ground, make sure you're on your back and not on your stomach. Okay? When you're on your stomach, you're absolutely useless. There's virtually nothing you can do. You can't really defend yourself, and you can't really see anything. At least when you're on your back, you've got your legs, you've still got your arms. There's things you can do to take care of yourself. Okay? It might be scarier because they might mount you or whatever, and they might be trying to pound you, but at least you've still got something. On your stomach, you've got nothing. Okay? So anyway, this is Chuck. This is all the advice that I have to give. So please go home, take this stuff, and train, train, train. See you next time. Yosh. What in the hell's a wanker?